Apocalypse, the ride, is a GCI wooden roller coaster that's been operating at Six Flags Magic Mountain since 2009. However, it's been closed for quite a while now while the park's been working on West Coast racers, and it only recently reopened. So it'd been about 2 years since I'd ridden it, and in the meantime they'd done lots of retracking. That meant they ripped out some of the old wood that was causing probably some rougher spots during the ride, made the ride a little less comfortable, and replaced it with new track so it just rides a lot better. And so I got to do this, and let me tell you, this retracking works wonders. The ride is amazing. I imagine that it is running now probably how it ran back when it opened 10 years ago. So this is going to be my full in-depth review on the attraction so you can know what to expect when you go out and experience it. And hopefully it stays as smooth as it is for a while, because I think it's got the perfect balance right now, where it still feels like a wooden roller coaster. So it's not RMC wood coaster smooth. It still has a bite to it, but it is just enough. The ride is running absolutely incredible. In fact, it was running so good that I wanted to immediately get back on it and ride it again. So much so that the last time I went to Magic Mountain, I rode it 5 times. And when a park has a ton of roller coasters, re-riding something 5 times throughout a day tells you how good it actually is. And I think this ride is really underrated. I remember the first time I rode it, I said, you know, it's a solid ride, like it's not bad, but it's probably on the lower end for the GCI coasters I've ridden. Now let me tell you, this is one of the best. I'd absolutely take it over Thunderhead at Dollywood and Woden Timber Coaster at Europa Park. The only ones that I'd say are absolutely better are probably some of the newer ones like Gold Striker or Mystic Timbers. And maybe we just caught it on a great day because it was hauling through the layout. So I can't confirm if it is running like that consistently since it reopened. Keep in mind, this is not my home park, so I don't exactly go out there to ride it all the time. But on this particular day, it was flying. This ride is intense. It has a brilliant layout, has some good airtime moments, even has a tunnel. There's a whole lot to love about this ride, and it just seems very underappreciated. And maybe it's because it was rougher some of the past few years, but I still don't think that this ride is talked about enough. If you get the opportunity to experience this coaster in the back row, it is just unbelievable. Most of the rides that I got on it, my past visit to Magic Mountain, were in the back. We did take one opportunity to do it towards the front. It was still great. Front row is always good, but for different reasons. This is 100% a back row ride though. And if you're familiar with GCI trains, these Millennium Flyers, you can really get some great airtime because of the way they've designed their trains. And even though a good portion of this ride, you can find similar elements on it on other GCIs, I think Apocalypse has a perfect combination of how they combined each section of the ride to make a cohesive layout. Even something such as the station fly-through. That's been done before. Granted, it's not very common, but I think Apocalypse has probably one of the best fly-throughs that I've seen. What I find so interesting is that this ride, in terms of track length, isn't even that long. It's under 3,000 feet. Something like Mystic Timbers is 400 feet longer than Apocalypse. Woden is actually 600 feet longer than this. But what I think is so interesting is that this ride feels longer than a ride like Woden. Woden, when I got off of it, I said, you know, that felt like a pretty short ride. I wish there was more to it. But Apocalypse, every time I got off, I said, wow, that is a fantastic layout. I'm very content with it. It brings the intensity, whips through the entire layout with such speed. I mean, it's 50 miles per hour, but man, you feel like you're going faster than that. So ride length, I think, is perfect. And actually, one of the other things that Magic Mountain recently did to this coaster was update the theme. Because you have to remember, this coaster originally opened as Terminator Salvation. It made it under that name for less than a year before they changed it to Apocalypse. And it's had this apocalyptic kind of destruction, like you need to get out of here theme, but they updated it. So now it's more so of a virus. Like you need to get out of here because it's spreading. And that's what's causing the apocalypse. So I think it's a nice update. I will stand by my statement that this is the most themed roller coaster at Magic Mountain. That queue is so well done. Definitely underappreciated. Yeah, it has your basic cattle pen outside, but once you enter, there's tons of stuff to look at. They really went into detail, and that's something you typically don't see at a Six Flags park. So nice job, Magic Mountain. So for Apocalypse's final score, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I would not have given it that same score a few years ago, but man, as of when I last rode it, it was running incredible. I have only positive things to say about it. It is definitely one of my new favorite GCIs, And ready for this? As of right now, it is currently my third favorite coaster at Magic Mountain. The only ones I put it behind are X2 and Twisted Colossus. Sorry Tatsu, you've been bumped. This is a great GCI. I don't know why it's not talked about more. Maybe it's just because it gets lost in the crowd with the other amazing rides at Magic Mountain. But seriously, this coaster is fantastic. I hope that Six Flags maintenance is able to keep up with it so it can keep running the way it currently is for years to come. You know, it may have been down for a year or however long, but it was worth it. They were doing something right, and the coaster is running better than ever. So that's my review of Apocalypse, the ride at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below if you agree with my thoughts. If you disagree, be sure to let me know why. And stay tuned for more videos here at Coaster Studios, and I'll see you next time.